Morning. So it's day 2 of my residency, and I spent a couple of hours reading this morning, and then I got my brain in a bit of a kind of tied in knot. So I just got up and I did ballet with my holding onto my exercise bike with Tamara Rocker, which kind of always helps sort of clarify my thoughts a little bit. It's difficult not to be able to stand up and have space, and what I like to do is kind of read and research and think, and then without thinking too much, I like to get up and dance and see what comes out and maybe film that. But this is a different process. So I'm doing my ballet bar, which sort of feels like mental algebra. But it's got me thinking about what I was reading yesterday, what I've been reading this morning. I kind of started off with Foucault and sex and the body, kind of leading on from yesterday, which sort of took me down into, just let me open my notes, took me kind of down into some queer theory and Sheila Jeffries and Dr. Jane Scott Jones, and exploring kind of like the intersections between feminism, lesbian theory, queer theory. Kind of got myself sort of wrapped up in knots, but also really interested in the sense of the body becoming the central place of a lot of politics at the moment. And on the one hand, we are more and more sort of distant from our bodies, and on the other, we're very much consumers. And Foucault identified that very quite early on. And also how bodies are now very much linked to our identity and the modification of our bodies. And of course, you can't help but think about now and illness and bodies and infectious bodies. I was just reading about the mask kind of having a political agenda of spreading fear this morning as well. And then I was thinking about personal illness, obviously kind of trying to pull it back into me, I suppose, like finding a way, thinking about how illness and injury has always been an incredibly important breaking point, but also a kind of door opening point for me in my life. And obviously as a dancer, being injured and being ill is really difficult and sort of spells an end to one's livelihood and one's vocation, as well as also the pain and suffering opening up a much deeper understanding of the self and the soul, which kind of led me back into thoughts around I was having around fantasia and using the body to spread joy and beauty and pleasure, rather than retreating into my kind of sort of Elaine Scarry body in pain world of the suffering and the soul and the body, kind of sort of pulling myself out of that again. I seem to always have to go down into the sort of pain and suffering route in order to sort of open up again humour and possibility. And then I was sort of thinking about judgment, whether that be face masks and illness or a body on stage, like counteracting or preempting, I suppose, whatever judgment one feels one may get by putting oneself on stage. Here I am sweating away, trying to get my leg higher, and kind of this internalised a sense of, if I'm going to put myself on stage, I want myself to be as perfect as possible, i.e. not feeling overweight, not feeling unfit, not feeling stiff, not feeling sore. But also that is about humour and storytelling and allowing people in and letting people see you rather than just see you. So those have been, I'm sort of a bit all over the shop. I'm at that stage where I'm going, why am I reading what I'm reading? Is any of this useful? Shouldn't I be, structuring my solo and coming up with some clear themes? And then I always go, no, this is a vital part of my muddle is very important, and I'm going to keep delving into it. Well, I would if I had lots of time, but it's lockdown, so I've got 1 more hour of work, and then we do a switch around, and then I'm into childcare, and then the whole afternoon is much more difficult to get time and space. So thank you for bearing with me. Not sure if any of that's of any interest. And I will endeavour to do a post tomorrow. I'm not guaranteeing it. I think tomorrow I'm going to try and, well, today I was meant to be looking at theatre theory. For some reason I'm finding that less interesting, but what I might do tomorrow is watch a lot of work. I've danced a lot I need to look at. I've got my old work I'd like to relook at. I'm a little bit scared of doing that, but again, it's has to be done. So I may share some of that with you. Thanks very much.